Unless you're a one-club man like Ryan Giggs or Paolo Maldini, it's rare you find a player who started and finished their career at the same club. No matter what they've done in their career, whether it's been winning the biggest trophies or playing all over the world, they've returned to where it all began to wrap up their career. But here we have 9 players who started and ended their career at the same club. Quick disclaimer, that's not including one-club men. Arjen Robben, Groningen. The man who inspired this video, Arjen Robben, is out of retirement and back at Groningen. Yes, the club who first taught Robben to cut inside on his left foot and rifle the ball into the top corner are graced with his talents once again, 18 years since he left the club for PSV. When he left the green and white club he was only 18 years old, but he's now back at the age of 36, having won all there is to win at Chelsea, Real Madrid and then finally Bayern Munich. He's a legend of Dutch football and one of the greats of our generation, and the fact he's returned to his boyhood club to help him out due to the financial setbacks of the coronavirus makes him even more of a hero. Henrik Larsson, Hogeborgs. There's no doubt hundreds of Scottish kids called Henrik right now, boy or girl, and it's all because of this man. Henrik Larsson is a hero in Glasgow if you're of a Celtic persuasion, putting in world-class performances whilst donning the green and white hoops. But it was Hogeborgs where he began his career back in his native Sweden. He made his debut there in 1989 and played 3 seasons with the club, but made a vow that at the end of his career he would play one more season with them. He did return, but that wasn't quite how it played out. He would instead end his full career at Helsingborgs before joining the Hogeborgs senior side, which basically sounds like a bunch of dads playing in a pub league. But due to injuries, Larsson would actually end up having to play twice for the first team, inadvertently ending his career where it all began. It's just a shame he lied to the fans and never completed a full season. Disgraceful. ROQUE Santa Cruz, OLIMPIA. The former Man City and Blackburn striker is still playing today, and considering he's 38 years old, I'm pretty sure this will be his final club, which just so happens to be his first club as well. Primarily a backup option at Bayern Munich, Santa Cruz has basically built his career off that one-class season at Ewood Park, but the Paraguayan first started in his homeland when he played for Olimpia, going on to join Bayern in 1999, although he's since said that he could have joined Real Madrid as well. There's also a load of stuff to do with guns and a threatening president when he was first at Olimpia, so it's a wonder why he's actually gone back. But that's what he did in 2016, where he got a hero's reception. He's the captain there now, and he scored even more goals than he did the first time round. Fortunately, the trigger-happy president is gone, meaning Santa Cruz hopefully won't get shot if he doesn't keep scoring, which is always a good thing. DIRK Quick Boys. Now that is a fantastic name for a football club, and it's exactly where Dirk Kuyt started and ended his career. They're an amateur club, and it's no surprise with a name like that. I mean, seeing Quick Boys take on young boys in the Champions League would be enough to bring Jimmy Savile back from the dead. Are we still allowed to joke about Jimmy Savile? Anyway, Kuyt quickly left Quick Boys for Utrecht when he was 18, but 20 years later he returned after also going back to Feyenoord to win the title. Having gained £300,000 from his move to Liverpool, Quick Boys were graced with Kuyt's talents once again in 2018, with the Dutchman coming out of retirement to boost their promotion bid. It didn't work, but they did go up the year after at least. Rafael Marquez, Atlas. One of the most famous Mexican players in the history of the game, who spent most of his career at Barcelona, it was Atlas where he started and finished his playing days. A timeless defender who was partial to a red card, Marquez didn't win a single thing during either of his spells with Atlas, so his teammates were probably a bit sick of him when he came back flashing his 2 Champions League winners' medals. He ended his career there with a 0-0 draw, which I suppose is the perfect way to go out for a defender. Carlos Tevez, Boca Juniors. One of the most controversial footballers ever, Carlos Tevez just doesn't give a toss, does he? There was the whole West Ham controversy, which wasn't really his fault. He left Man United for Man City, he downed tools at Man City, he skipped the World Cup to go to Disneyland, and then he described his time in China as a holiday. A holiday where he got paid a ridiculous amount of cash just to eat food and be too fat to play, which sounds like my kind of holiday. Well, he's now back at Boca Juniors for his 3rd spell, having started his career there in 2001. He returned for a 3rd time in 2018, and at 36 I doubt he'll be asked to leave again, unless another cash cow comes calling of course. I heard Newcastle is lovely this time of year, Carlos. Robin Van Persie, Feyenoord. It's rare that a player returns to his boyhood club at the end of his career and has a massive impact. Often it's just a sentimental move that doesn't really amount to much. But when Van Persie returned to Feyenoord, he was red hot with a point to prove. In his first spell he won the UEFA Cup but left in 2004 for Arsenal after various attitude problems, and he would go on to become an elite level striker for the Gunners and then Man United. But once Fergie left Old Trafford, things went downhill. Christ, how many times have we heard that before? After 2.5 uneventful years in Turkey, Van Persie returned to Feyenoord in January 2018 for a season and a half, where he managed to score 21 goals, which is more than he managed in his first spell with the club. He also won the Dutch Cup, which is probably pretty important to him considering he didn't win that much in his career on account of playing for Arsenal. ANDRIY SHEVCHENKO, DYNAMO KIEV. Often I'll sit and think to myself, just why did it not work out for ANDRIY SHEVCHENKO at Chelsea? To this day it still makes me sad, and I'm not even a Chelsea fan. But anyway, he would start his career at Dynamo Kiev, where he won 5 league titles and scored pretty much a goal every other game to earn him a mega move to AC Milan, who at the time were one of the biggest clubs in the world despite their recent demise. It was there where he truly became one of the best in the world, making his Chelsea disaster all the more heartbreaking. In 2009 he returned to Dynamo Kiev but was unable to reignite his career, eventually quitting football in 2012 to enter the world of politics, which is basically what Marcus Rashford's had to do at the age of 22. And finally, Vincent Kompany, Anderlecht. If you ever played LMA Manager 2004, you know all about Vincent Kompany's Anderlecht past. No matter who you started as, you just had to sign Kompany and Van den Boer. It was basically the rules. But while the latter is best known for being the player that Chris Kamara didn't realise was being sent off, Vincent Kompany went on to become a titan of defending who at one point was the best centre-back in the world for my money. After leaving Anderlecht in 2006, Kompany returned last summer to become player manager, a move that will help him transition to the role as a full-time manager. Or at least that's the plan, but things kind of went to pot when Anderlecht got off to an awful start and Kompany had to hand the reins to his assistant manager. I don't have the details, but I imagine he was probably starting himself up front every game, which is what I'd do if I was player manager. So those are 9 players who started and ended their careers at the same club. Let us know of any more in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to HITC Sport, and until next time, we'll see you around.